Hello, this is Renee from the Let's Get Real channel. I made other videos about homelessness, and I'm not talking about in these videos people who are evicted from their apartments because they can't afford it and they're looking for a place to stay and they're living in their cars or living with other people. I'm not talking about that kind of situation. Your lease is up and you don't have another place to stay, so you got to go live with your parents for a little while, a couple months or whatever until you find someone else. That's not the kind of homelessness I'm talking about. I'm talking about straight up hobo, transient, drug addicts, people who are mentally ill. Well, that's what drug addiction is mental illness, okay? And like I said, the money that's getting thrown at it is not going to solve the homeless problem. If you have a problem with homelessness and wherever you are, if you've ever asked yourself, how come all these organizations are reaching out and nothing happens? How come there's so many homeless yet we're throwing so much money at it? If you're wondering that, I already made a video explaining that, a couple of videos like explaining that homelessness is nothing more than a business, okay, where people are paying themselves really good money to manage the money that is being donated or money that has been given to them through grants from the government. And here's proof. Here's a lady who knows what she's talking about, and she runs a homeless. She was the ex-president of some kind of organization for the homeless, and also part of the San Francisco government, where they got a shit ton of homeless. But just do yourself a favor and just listen to this.
I think the whole homeless business is corrupt, and I have for years. And here's the reason. When Gavin and I did the 10-year plan in 2004 to end chronic homelessness, we looked at each and every contract. So if you come to me as a homeless person that is mentally ill and you're a vet, okay, they were putting, at the time, they were putting people into programs that were 5 months long for mental, and then at the end of the 5 months, they put you back on the street.
You won't make it. There's no way.
There's no way. So that's not permanent supportive housing. I'm going to nail in permanent supportive housing is the answer, but nobody wants to do it. So that's one problem where programs ended and didn't have the proper transition into permanent supportive housing. The second problem is we found one organization that was spending $75 on administration, and $25 on the homeless person.
Wow.
Okay, 75 on admin.
So 75% of their funding will go to their
And believe it or not, that was
themselves.
That's right. And that happens all the time. That's why it's corrupt.
Okay, there you go. You have an organization working out of San Francisco, and there's a lot of them. This is not something that's, extraordinarily uncommon. You have an organization that is taking 75% of the money that it takes in, a nonprofit to help the homeless, and is using the money for administration. What does that mean? That means they're paying themselves. That means these sons of bitches that are supposed to be helping the homeless, quote unquote, are paying themselves real good money to do absolutely nothing about it. And where does the 25% of the money goes? It goes to going out and handing them sandwiches and giving them soups and setting up a soup kitchen, or possibly paying for a one-night shelter, or just whatever crap they can toss, whatever, throwing a dog a bone, basically. And the rest of it, they keep. And this is all going on rampant in all kinds of nonprofit, supposedly helping the homeless organizations. All they are doing is raking it in, getting money from wealthy donors, getting money from the government, getting government grants, and just living good off of it, including faith-based organizations where preachers are living the high life off of supposedly running organizations that are helping the homeless. Greed, man. That's why the homeless are out there in uncountable numbers, okay? That's why money's not being put into rehabilitation, money's not being put into a permanent shelter or any programs anymore, because greedy ass organizations that are supposedly helping the homeless are raking it in and living good off of it. I don't know how they can stand themselves knowing that when they leave their front door, they got to deal with it. But they don't give a shit. They're making good ass money. You know, pieces of shit making $200,000-$300,000 a year being homeless directors or some stupid shit like that, using donated or grant money to line their pockets. And until people stand up and do some shit about this, these people aren't going to stop. As a matter of fact, there are websites or even YouTube instructional videos on how to start a homeless shelter. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why would you want to start a homeless shelter? Why? Because you're a humanitarian? No, these videos aren't doing it for that reason. They're doing it to show you how you profit, even though you're a nonprofit, how you line your pockets under the table, under the cover of a nonprofit, non-taxed organization, how you make good-ass money off of that. You can start a homeless shelter or a homeless camp or something under the nonprofit umbrella, under the religious umbrella, not get taxed, and make some good ass money, and then call yourself the director of homelessness and line your pockets if you're that much of a disgusting person. Tell people about it, man. You don't have to share my videos, whatever. Tell people. If you're tired of homelessness, tell people about why there's so much homelessness and how nobody's going to do anything about it. Tell people about these organizations that are lining their pockets, okay, instead of helping the homeless like they're supposed to be doing, like they say they do. Spread the word about these people and quit donating to them. Renee, this is the Get Real channel. I'm out.